Welcome to this presentation on how burning electronic waste contributes to toxic air pollution. As technology use continues to grow worldwide, discarded electronics are becoming one of the fastest-growing waste streams on the planet. This presentation explores the environmental and health dangers caused by burning e-waste, the toxic pollutants released into the atmosphere, and the importance of responsible recycling through licensed recyclers. Electronic waste continues to increase rapidly as consumers and businesses frequently replace outdated technology with newer devices. Smartphones, computers, televisions, printers, batteries, and networking equipment all contribute to the growing volume of discarded electronics worldwide. In many regions, electronics are not processed safely. Instead, informal recycling operations burn devices in open-air environments to recover small amounts of valuable metals. This dangerous practice releases harmful pollutants directly into the air and creates serious environmental and public health concerns. Electronic devices contain a complex mixture of plastics, metals, wiring, batteries, and chemical coatings. While some materials like gold, silver, and copper can be safely recovered through proper recycling, many components contain hazardous substances such as lead, mercury, cadmium, and brominated flame retardants. When electronics are burned, these toxic substances are released into the atmosphere. Plastic casings and insulated wiring are especially dangerous because combustion creates harmful gases and toxic smoke that contaminate surrounding communities and ecosystems. Open-air burning is often used in regions that lack proper recycling infrastructure and environmental regulations. Workers burn wires, circuit boards, and electronic components to recover valuable metals quickly and cheaply. Unfortunately, these unsafe recycling methods expose workers and nearby residents to dangerous pollutants every day. Many informal recyclers work without protective equipment, and in some areas, children are also exposed to toxic smoke and contaminated environments. Burning electronics releases highly toxic chemicals known as dioxins and furans. These substances are produced when chlorine-containing plastics, such as PVC materials commonly found in electronics, are burned in open-air fires. Dioxins are extremely dangerous because they remain in the environment for many years and accumulate in the food chain. Exposure has been linked to cancer, immune system damage, hormonal disruption, and developmental problems in both children and adults. E-waste burning also releases toxic heavy metals such as lead, mercury, and cadmium into the atmosphere. These substances can become airborne as fine particles that are easily inhaled by workers and nearby communities. Heavy metal exposure can severely damage the brain, kidneys, lungs, and nervous system. Children are especially vulnerable because their developing bodies absorb toxic substances more easily, increasing the risk of developmental and learning problems. Burning electronic waste creates dangerous particulate matter known as PM2.5 and PM10. These microscopic particles can travel deep into the lungs and even enter the bloodstream. Long-term exposure to particulate pollution is linked to respiratory disease, heart problems, lung cancer, and reduced life expectancy. Communities located near e-waste burn sites often experience poor air quality and increased rates of respiratory illness. When electronics are burned, they release volatile organic compounds, also known as VOCs. These gases contribute to the formation of smog and ground-level ozone, which reduce air quality and create hazardous breathing conditions. Exposure to VOCs may cause irritation to the eyes, nose, throat, and lungs. Long-term exposure can also damage the liver, kidneys, and nervous system, especially in communities located near informal recycling operations. Several regions around the world have become major hotspots for informal e-waste recycling and open-air burning. Locations such as Agbogbloshi in Ghana and Guiyu in China have received global attention because of the severe pollution created by unsafe electronics processing practices. Workers and nearby residents in these areas are frequently exposed to toxic smoke, contaminated soil, and hazardous water supplies. Unfortunately, the pollutants released from these sites can also spread through the atmosphere and impact surrounding regions. The effects of burning e-waste extend beyond air pollution alone. Toxic particles released into the atmosphere eventually settle into soil, rivers, lakes, and groundwater systems, creating widespread environmental contamination. Wildlife, livestock, and agricultural areas can all be affected by toxic exposure. Heavy metals and hazardous chemicals may remain in ecosystems for decades, making environmental recovery difficult and extremely expensive. Reducing the dangers of e-waste burning requires stronger environmental regulations, improved recycling infrastructure, and greater public awareness. Governments and industries must work together to prevent illegal dumping and unsafe disposal practices. Responsible recycling through licensed recyclers is one of the safest and most effective solutions available. Proper recycling facilities recover valuable materials while preventing toxic pollutants from entering the environment. The growing e-waste crisis highlights the importance of managing discarded electronics responsibly. Unsafe disposal methods threaten human health, damage ecosystems, and contribute to long-term environmental pollution. By supporting responsible recycling, consumers and businesses can help conserve natural resources, reduce toxic emissions, and create a cleaner and healthier future for communities around the world. Thank you for learning more about the dangers of burning electronic waste and the importance of responsible recycling practices. Proper electronics recycling helps protect air quality, public health, and the environment for future generations. Reach us by phone, email, or our website. Responsible electronics recycling helps protect the air we breathe and the future we share.